perfectly safe where we are, where you are, perfectly safe in the mind of God, perfectly safe in that thought that we are having in recognizing who we are, what we are, perfectly safe in the gifts of God that we receive, and perfectly safe, therefore, in our relationships, because everything has to come and be based on our change of mind, how we see things, and how we are determined to see things differently. And once we are determined to see things differently, we extend and express what is love in ourselves very, very naturally. This is really what not just connects each other, but lets each other recognize who we are, and that we have one self, one mind. It is love. It is that extension of light of creative thought that we have been given as a gift in creation itself. And this is our welcome for remembering what has been given us. And why is it perfectly safe forever? Because the idea of being threatened or the idea of not being safe is really coming from the ego. And it is the ego that part of the mind in separation and determining separation that would want you to believe that you would need to do something in order to be safe. And you see that how it is set up in your societies, in your nations all over this globe. And you see that all set up in that necessity to stay separate and to determine to to be superior or even inferior is that idea in the human consciousness that there's a source outside ourselves that has the power to threaten our reality. And of course, at that point, every awakened mind would simply laugh and say, what an insanity, isn't it? How insane is this? But every idea of an enemy, every idea of a power outside that is threatening our equilibrium, let's say, our well being between each other. And, it's if you look how wars are being initiated and have been initiated for thousands of years, you see immediately that that was all in a determination that there's somebody or some power out there that is in opposition to what I want or in opposition to what I believe. And therefore, I have to prove to myself, or I have to prove to my state, my family, my tribe, that I'm not gonna let that happen, right? And where we're coming in first seeking the peace, the kingdom of God within ourselves, is a self recognition, a state of mind that first wants to know who am I as that enemy, right? What a question would that be? And it would immediately open up this inquiry into and directing to oneself. And once the oneself is realized and experienced as one, as all there is, there's also clarity. And most of those things that appear may be coming from this past meaning that has been applied and projected, just a misunderstanding, a misinterpretation, maybe sometimes even just pulling one's legs. And the self-recognition allows us to see that there isn't really anything threatened. neither in us nor in anybody else. And all that is really necessary is to remain relaxed and to stay in that state of mind that does see everything as a joke, right? And does see that if it cannot threaten me, then what is it? Do I really need to react all the time? Do I really need to give a reply and a response to everything? And the answer is clearly no. No, of course, you don't need to reply to everything, since somehow at some point the individual wants maybe to experience first the joke for him for herself. And so that is kind of my introduction for today. And we will see how we're going to go along in this using chapter 25, the link to truth, the first section of it. Chapter 25 is the justice of God, that makes that emphasis of showing us that perception is a choice. And of course, it does come first from our own thoughts, and that those thoughts we can change. This is a mind training program, no matter what you choose. I'm teaching here a course in miracles. This is a message from Jesus Christ. And he gives here very clear instructions how to change the way of seeing oneself and the world. Is that accepted by the Christian establishment? Absolutely not. This is a message that is utilized by individuals, and most of religious established churches believe that this is an evil source that has brought up this. I have here a book of 1,400 pages in front of me, right? And all it teaches and shows me is to let go of the past, to free myself from the past, and to really focus on seeing myself, seeing everything in the world in a completely different way. So we're gonna stay here together for a moment, and if you have some time, please come on Spreaker.com into the Voice from Heaven, and there you will find the class that will be later on archived, and you can listen to it whenever you want. I love you, and so just gonna use here a moment of a transitional music. Okay, so.